is Monday, April the 25th, 2022. It is currently 9 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour, and dare I say, this is a late start, even for the show that never starts on time. But would you expect anything less from the show that won't go away? I am James, we are here for another breathtaking, heart-pounding, and dare I say, thrill-seeking edition of At Home with James. We are live on Twitch. This is the internet. You might be watching on your mobile device, whether that is a Samsung, an iPhone, or perhaps one of those lesser-known devices that only your Grammys and Grampies have. And they don't know really how to use them, and you got to help them use them. You could be watching perhaps using a Chromecast, screening this live on your gigantic TV. I don't even mind if you're in the tub, and you got one of those little things like a bridge that connects between the two walls of your tub. You're watching, you're about to take a selfie with your feet up. Maybe there's a couple candles going. Doesn't matter to me how or which way you're watching tonight's show, as long as you are watching tonight's show, because this is one not to be missed. Why is that? I'll tell you why a little bit later on. We're going to do something that has become somewhat of a tradition on Monday nights. P.S. the only night of the week that we do this show anymore, except for surprise airings. That's going to be a panel featuring the one and only Alex Brown and Dave Kaufman. Now, when I check in with Dave every Monday, he's my number one Monday guy. The days of Andy and Dimitri are behind us. They are gone. Much like, soon to be, the month of April. I check in with my main man, Dave. I say, Dave, what do you got on tap for us tonight? Week after week after week, he will say, oh, how about a panel? What about a panel? And that's when I know that Dave, just like the best of us from time to time, is running out of ideas. So Alex Brown, Dave Kaufman will be joining me for a panel a little bit later on. We're going to kick things off with our first guest in just a matter of moments. But before I do that, let's touch on something that I mentioned moments ago. These are the new days of At Home with James. One day a week. This is what we're calling our spring schedule. Fridays, once in a while. Wednesdays, not for another 9 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Who knows? This is why I urge you and I plead with you to follow our crappy Instagram account at Home with James on Instagram. Very few posts, not a lot of pictures, a very poor social media presence, but it is the one and only place where you can find what we advertise in terms of what is going to be on this show. And what is on this show tonight? You know what this means when I do this noise? That is the alert and the signal, which means we have got a first-time guest. It doesn't happen much anymore, but I am so excited. I got an email from this person, very vague, very vague and mysterious. But in reading it, I knew this is someone that I need on the show. Not someone that I want to be on the show, but someone that I need to be on this show. So without any further adieu, I bring to you for the first time ever, and from what I understand, the last time ever, it is Montreal's Gaming Prince. Montreal's Gaming Prince, thank you so much for being here. How you doing tonight?
I wish I could say I'm doing good.
Okay.
Want to thank you for having me. I'm hoping this will make my mood a lot better, participating in comedy.
Well, and that's that was one of the reasons that drew me to your email, is that I got a sense in reading it that there was a lot of angst and sorrow in this. First of all, before we get into that, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Of course, this is the first time you were here tonight on the At Home program. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, James. I've frozen. I am still frozen?
Yeah, but I would say pay no mind to that, right?
Well, it's just another one of my many woes. You know, it's just something else that I can add to my chagrin at this point. I am the former prince of gaming for Montreal. I was recently deposed, recently ran away from my kingdom, and I just want it back so bad. I used to be the prince of all gamers. This is board gamers, I was their prince. Video gamers, I was their prince. The LARPers on Mount Royal, I was prince of them. And I was chased from my kingdom. My throne was stolen from me. And I have nothing now except, I guess, appearing on your show.
Well, yeah, this is, you've thrown me through a loop here. So I understood that you were the gaming prince. Now I'm understanding that you have been besmirched. You were the former gaming prince of this city that we call Montreal.
I sent you an email back at what I like to call the height of my power. It's when I still had the throne. I still had the wine. I could still call out for dancers whenever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I was attending tournaments as the gaming prince of Montreal. Between sending out that email and today, my rivals amassed power. They staged a coup, and they actually took me by the arms and threw me out of my gamer's palace in Outremont.
With the gamer's palace is in Outremont?
Yeah, yes, it's a palace near the mountain near a university where I used to reign.
Now, can I ask you, what do you think the reasons are that you have been dethroned and taken out of power, right? I was not aware. Now, I've gone on record on the show a multitude of times. I'm not too involved in the gaming world, whether it's the live action role-playing variety, board games. So I didn't know that there was I guess you could call it a kingdom of gamers. What went into your dismissal?
Oh, I mean, it's really, I'm not going to be dishonest. I was very arrogant. I would call for, people's heads to be cut off at a moment's notice. I was rude to the musicians of the court. I wouldn't play chess enough for their liking. I passed very unjust laws about, custom-built PCs, things like this.
So there were laws about PCs and people perhaps going to Canada Computers and buying the parts.
Oh, I was very jealous about this sort of thing. I would send my knights out. I would scream in the middle of the night. I would, halfway through a meal when I was, biting into a gigantic leg of meat or something, I would be screaming. And I don't regret doing it, but I understand that it made a lot of them jealous and mad and bad.
Now, to the former gaming prince. Now, again, forgive my ignorance. I need some clarification for my own sake. Now, when you say you were passing these rules and these bylaws and things of that nature, was that within a game, or do you mean this is what you were passing off to the other members of this fun little club?
Well, I mean, I resent you calling it a fun little club. There were millions and millions of us. We would gather on Mount Royal and kind of dance around like a maypole every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We were very serious about our work. Basically, anywhere you see, I'm sure you've seen around the city, there have been some gaming co-ops, storefronts with computers in them. That's us.
Well, take your time. I understand this is a trying moment in your life, so if you have to get a little emotional, don't worry about it, right?
I mean, I can honestly say at this moment, my identity is so much less the Gamer Prince of Montreal and so much more just the former Gamer Prince of Montreal. I lie in ruin. I've been exiled from the city into the West Island.
Wait, so you've been physically thrown out of Montreal and you've been banished to the West. What part of the West Island?
Point Claire.
So you're now located in Point Claire.
I'm streaming actually from the office space for the Point Claire Aquadome. I mean, no, if you're laughing,
I should not laugh. You're right. I shouldn't laugh. But what I was laughing at, not so much was your situation, but just the fact that you were coming from the Point Claire Aquadome. And I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't ask your thoughts on now a former staple of the Point Claire Village, the Pioneer.
Right. I once went to a wedding of the Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
I had been invited by the gaming prince of the West Island.
Mm-hmm.
He was marrying off his daughter to one of my daughters, and
wait, you have kids?
Oh, hundreds. I'm a king. I was a prince.
My mistake.
You have to have a lot of kids because there's a lot of alliances you have to form. I have to form alliances with the gamers of New York City. To form, there's people in
Again, this is my
Toronto.
ignorance. This is my ignorance talking. I thought people would just kind of gather around a fold-out table and they'd set up their game pieces and order pizza and eat Doritos and things like that and drink Mountain Dew.
The money for that pizza comes from the taxes I levy. I mean,
Okay, I understand.
I'd pass laws. I mean, someone has to explain the rules of board games, and if there isn't a central authority like a prince, for former prince, those rules go unexplained, and people have less fun playing the games. I mean, I knew the Duke of Monopoly. I was good friends.
There's a Duke of Monopoly.
Yes, Duke.
Okay,
most games have Duke.
Can I ask you this? Where do you go from here now? You've been banished. I mean, I still see that you're wearing some type of royal garb. You've got, I don't want to point it feels a little jesterly.
Well, I borrowed this from my jester. He told me this was a comedy show. I thought I'd meet you halfway.
Right.
I usually don't wear anything. Usually I had a crown. They melted it, obviously, after they stole my throne.
Right. Where do you go from here? Are you able to still play games, or are you, and I hesitate to say this because it might sound a little harsh, maybe friendless?
I'm not friendless. I am not friendless. I have many friends in the West Island who, they may not say it out loud, but they rally to my cause.
Right.
I'm not in the mood to play games anymore. I could say that.
Okay.
It makes it really tough. I don't know what I have to become. I mean, I'm sure once I regain some of my power, I'll play, the occasional game of Mario Party or something. But until then, solitaire maybe. What I'll do is I'll empty out the pool, kind of sit cross-legged at the bottom of that, and play solitaire for a couple hours.
Hold on, you're painting quite a picture here, former Gaming Prince of Montreal. You're going to drain a pool, sit at the bottom of the pool, and play solitaire at the bottom of a pool?
Well, the pool gets drained. I don't do that. They're not doing that for me. But they have to clean it every night.
Okay.
And so between the cleaning and the refilling of the pool, I sit there cross-legged playing solitaire on my phone. Yeah.
Oh, so you're playing. This is digital solitaire on your mobile device.
One of the many accomplishments of my time as Gaming Prince of Montreal was I did modernize a lot of things. We moved away from paper. We moved away from cardboard. Plastic pieces kind of went the way of the dodo.
Right.
And now, I mean, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the new king is doing. I don't know what the new prince is doing.
Well, if you could send a message out to the new king or prince, what would that be, right? And I would say, I don't know how familiar you are with this show. I tend to keep things a little bit clean and above board, but you can use whatever verbiage you want to. I know this is a difficult time, so if there's a message you'd like to send, feel free.
I'll speak directly to camera one here. I'm coming back from my kingdom. You're going to receive in the mail a dead animal of some sort. I forget what the most threatening animal to send is, but I'll look it up. I'll send that over. And I'm coming back from my throne. I'm coming back to Montreal. You can't keep me in the West Island forever. I am the Gaming Prince of Montreal, and I will one day play Xbox on that throne again.
Okay, now you're going to send some dead animals in the mail. I can see that not only the gaming means a lot to you, but the city does as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but over your shoulder, I think that's a portrait of the city of Montreal. Am I correct or incorrect?
Yes, this is actually one of the most. I don't know how clearly it can be seen in the camera. This is Montreal at the time of Expo 67.
That's correct. I had one of those in my home growing up as well.
It's a beautiful picture. It really does represent a moment where Montreal was really becoming more of a gamer city, I think.
You're telling me gaming dates all the way back to the times of Expo 67?
Gaming dates back to the days of our earliest caveman ancestors.
You're right. Again, this is my ignorance speaking.
Cavemen would gather around the fire, and they'd jape and they'd carouse and they'd get up to all sorts of fun. That was gaming.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you think, because there's people that watch this show both live and then afterwards when we bank this episode in our video on demand library, What would you say to maybe some prospective gamers who don't know how to pierce into that world? Perhaps they're at home, they like to have fun, they like to play video games, they like to role play online. What would you say to them? What's your message to them, and how could you go about inspiring them?
If you're like a fun kid who just wants to find people to play games with, like maybe you think your interests are too nerdy or too weird and smelly, and people make fun of you for playing Xbox or PlayStation. What you just gotta do, you first gotta get over any fears you have, and then you have to come to the Montreal Aquadome and rally to my cause, gather under my flag. I will bring you to glory.
Now, it's funny that you mentioned that. You talked about bringing them to glory and things of that nature. I understand that you are setting up a rally this weekend for yourself.
Yes. It will be in the West Island. It will be at the combination pool and hockey rink there in Point Claire. We haven't gotten a lot of great speakers yet, I will admit. The invitations I've sent out to the major gaming studios have gotten a lot of bad responses. They've been turned against me by the current gaming.
So there's a conspiracy to smear your name in addition to taking you out of power.
Exactly, and it's ruined any prospect I have of a good event.
Well, who do you have on tap to be speaking this weekend at the combination pool and hockey rink?
We did get Charles Martinet, the guy who does Mario's voice.
Wait, you got the voice actor for Super Mario to speak at your rally?
Yeah. Look, it wasn't an easy sell. It was not an easy sell.
Yeah, how did you sell him on this? This is, I have to say, former Gaming Prince, I'm impressed. I'm truly impressed.
I thought this wasn't much of a get. He's old. He doesn't hit those notes like he used to, and
but it's still impressive that you got the voice of Super Mario to speak on your behalf.
He will happily attend almost any event where he gets to talk in his normal voice.
All right. So you're saying he will not be doing the Super Mario voice?
That would have been impossible. He's coming, he's talking in his relaxed, he's putting his feet up, and he's kind of speaking in a very smooth, relaxed way. He won't say, "I'm Mario." He won't say, "It's a me, Mario." He won't, we can't get him to say any of the lines, but we can help him say something like, "We will destroy those who rise against you, Gaming Prince of Montreal," stuff like that.
Okay. So I also understand you've, from my notes here, you've got some musical artists that are going to be performing on your behalf too. Any names we might know?
The Arcade Fire.
Wait a minute. You have the Arcade Fire performing at your rally?
I had to make the joke.
Clearly, okay, so I understand. Okay. You really, you blew me away there.
Just Win Butler. He's coming along.
Okay, so you've got a member of the Arcade Fire.
Yes.
Okay, I also understand there's going to be some games and activities. What should people expect at your rally this weekend at the combination pool hockey rink?
We got inflatable houses for the kids. Something to keep the kids occupied while the adults are, heeding my call. Face painting. We've got some, I did convince some carnival games people to come. So there's going to be a dunk tank. Somebody will be dressed as one of the fools that deposed me will be thrown into a dunk tank. There'll be darts, jugglers.
Yep.
We have some people who will kind of do acrobatic dances in fire.
Now, can I say, and again, I'll say it again, this is the third or fourth time, this is my ignorance speaking. I didn't expect this to be such an extravagant rally. You mentioned all those things, but again, in my notes, it's also written that you're going to have, quote, horsey rides.
I have to get around the grounds.
Wait, hold on. By horsey rides, does this mean that you will be the only person riding a horse, and one of the activities is people watch you riding the horse?
No, I mean, horses will be provided for people who want to ride in concert with me.
I
I
understand.
mean, I am not alone in my exile. Some loyal members of my court will be with me, and they'll be riding the horses along with me and going
Yep.
yippee.
Now,
No
please,
kids can
after
ride
you.
these horses.
Okay. I also understand there's going to be snacks and concessions. So what should people expect?
So like when you're watching like a medieval movie and they have like the big like legs of turkey.
Yep.
So we've like sculpted meat to look like that.
Wait, so you're gonna have different meats sculpted as legs of turkey?
Yeah, like boneless. Like you have like ground beef kind of like put into a turkey leg shape.
Okay, so
we're not very rich.
Look, yeah, I feel like you may have spent your budget on all the carnival people activities, as well as Win Butler of the Arcade Fire and the voice of Super Mario.
I'll tell you, when I met Win Butler, underneath, I forget which bridge it was underneath, and I threw him the little pouch of gold coins. I felt like I had crossed a line into like poverty, more or less.
Well, look, but I will say I do really appreciate and respect the fact that you've put your efforts into this rally so people can understand that you're, a fair ruler over the gaming community of Montreal. So I know that you're going to have ground beef sculpted into other meats.
It will be cooked.
Okay, and look, I would have assumed so. Now I've got here the grand finale is going to be a fireworks show.
Yes, very excited for this. We've got all the good colors, all the rainbow fireworks, red, green, blue, purple, fireworks. We don't know where we're allowed to shoot them off. We're pretty far away from the water at the Point Claire pool.
Wait, is this now? Hold on. Is this not a certified event? Is this just kind of a bit of a rogue event? I would have assumed that all this stuff you'd have a kind of a permission to do that.
James, I am the former Gamer Prince of Montreal.
Sure.
It would be very silly for me to bend to the will of whoever the mayor of Point Claire is right now. It would be very silly. I don't bend to the city councilors. I've cut the heads off of lesser rulers, on Tuesday.
Well, again, I do have to say, I really do respect the fact that you've got a goal and you have a vision and you're going towards that. And one more time for people who are interested in your rally, where can they find that?
It will be at the pool during the weekend.
Okay, so Saturday and Sunday, and I've also understood there's a website for more information, and that can be found at
www. I will one day regain the throne that was taken from me by the vile deceptors in the court, who I will not name this URL.com.
All right. Well,
/ event on weekend.
Okay, great. Yeah, I understand that tickets are also available on Eventbrite as well. So yes, we've modernized this. A former Gaming Prince of Montreal. Any final words for the viewers who are watching right now along Twitch? This is your opportunity to again rally them on your side as you look to take your throne back.
Would that my empire weren't crumbling. I can't say much more than that. My empire is crumbling. I'm in despair. Add me on Steam.
Well, you can find the former Gaming Prince of Montreal on Steam. Look, I hope this isn't the last time you appear. I would love to have an update on this in the coming weeks. Again, just the email that I saw was the first time, only time, and last time. So I hope that we can, maybe renegotiate that.
Perhaps I'll reappear on this show as the once and future Gaming Prince of Montreal.
Well, if my vote counts for anything, you've got my vote. I'm swayed.
Thank you. I'm touched.
Former Gaming Prince of Montreal, thank you so much for being here and have a good night. And I bow to you.
Thank you. Folks, I deserve it.
Well, and I think so too. That is the former Gaming Prince of Montreal, a first time ever appearance. I have to say, as he was explaining what this rally was, I didn't expect much. Folks, he's got the voice of Mario, a member of the Arcade Fire. There are concessions which include cuts of meat that are shaped by ground beef, which of course is cooked. There's darts. It takes place by the pool. There's horsey rides, and it ends with a fireworks show that is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in the West Island, specifically in Pointe Claire. To the Gamer Prince of Montreal, we thank you so much for being here. Folks, quick reminder, no show on Wednesday, no show on Friday, but keep your eyes peeled. You never know what might happen around these parts. Let's welcome our next two guests. It's panel time because, of course, it's Monday. Please welcome to the show Alex Brown and Dave Kaufman. Alex, welcome back.
Hello.
David, welcome back. Alex, how are you tonight?
I'm doing quite splendidly, James.
That you couldn't have said that. You couldn't have said that with less conviction.
Look, it's after 9 o'clock. I'm tired.
All right. Well, look, we've got, you are a modern adult. You have a reasonable work schedule, so I understand.
Right.
David, let's go to you. How are you feeling tonight?
Feeling good. Feeling great.
Okay, so you went from good to great in a matter of seconds. Now,
It's all it took.
I'm curious to know, Dave.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of this Gamer Prince of Montreal? Because you're involved in the video game scene.
I mean, I've heard tell of them, but the details were sort of hazy. It's sort of something you hear, you hear tale of, but no one actually is able to give you any details. It's sort of a lore.
He seems pretty underground.
Well, yeah, it seems like the lore is no more, and it is true. Any interest? I'm thinking, guys, we go to this rally on the weekend.
Oh, I'm all in.
I'm not allowed to go to any rallies anymore.
Oh,
Why is
no.
My wife won't let me.
Like, why you've been to too many rallies? Gets a little bit out of control, Dave.
He went too rally
Too
crazy.
many rally crazy. Yeah.
Well, I don't have a wife,
if
so...
we were to go to this rally, which of the activities speaks to you the most?
I really, I want to see the ground beef made to look like other types of meat?
Yeah, it's different cuts of meat shaped by cooked ground beef. So a turkey leg that is just ground beef.
Yeah, I think I would like to. And do you sample it? Like, are you tasting it, or are we just like looking at it and appreciating the?
No, I think you can eat it, right? It's cooked, so it's there to cook. Yeah, Dave. What about you? Which of the events speaks to you the most?
I mean, I would love to go to that one. I would need like. I feel like there's a big trend of people making foods into other foods these days.
I can't believe no one else is going for a horsey ride.
I mean, I
thought that was only for the former Gaming Prince of Montreal.
No, you can get on a horse and join him along his travels at the rally grounds. And I also really like the idea of playing darts.
Yeah, that's fun. I would like to play darts. I don't think I've ever played darts.
Oh, darts are fun.
Yeah, you gotta get real drunk first, though.
Well, we're going to this rally.
I'm sure at this rally there's going to be some mulled wine.
There's going to be some mulled wine tailgating.
Maybe some mead.
Well, look, I want to get into. We're getting a confirmation from the former Gamer Prince of Montreal off air. Now, what I wanted to do now, originally this was Alex. It was just going to be you and I, and Dave has finagled his way into it. Now, this is what I was interested in talking about with Alex, because famously, you never come up with topics. The only time you came up with one was soup.
Soup. Well, listen, you didn't even ask me this time. I was going to suggest bread.
So, you want to do 20 minutes on bread?
Yeah, I wanted to talk all about bread.
Well, this was going to be my proposal, and then Dave is here, so he gets a vote in this, right? And we had the Gamer Prince of Montreal. He was talking about voting and being in positions of power and things like that. So maybe it's fair that we do it. Alex, what I wanted to discuss with you was the top and most famous and most favorable female singer-songwriters of the 90s.
Ooh, of the 90s. Wow, okay. Yeah. As opposed to bread.
You sound interested with that. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Now, Dave, what do you think about that, right?
I love it. I grew up in the 90s.
Well, we all did.
Yep.
Yeah, I did also. And, I was big into, I listened to, I have an older sister, so she had some cassettes that, I'd hear in the car. And, I'm a fan of a bunch of 90s female musicians, so I'm excited for this.
All right, so Alex, you also have a sister, but if I'm not mistaken, you are the eldest.
I am the eldest, yes.
Okay, so perhaps she was listening to your music of the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that like we're still pretty close in age. So it's not like I ever got to be like the cool older sister, you
Got
know?
it.
So yeah, and I didn't have any cassettes. Well, I had an Aqua CD. That was pretty
Okay.
sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so Dave, you're a little bit older than Alex and I.
Is he?
Don't tell
Dave
the
is
audience.
now. Would we like to confess our ages? Is that something we
Oh.
want to do?
Is that what we're gonna do here?
I mean, I'll confess mine. I am 34 years old,
Wow.
and I know both of your ages.
Yeah.
Who's
26.
next? You're
Yeah,
26.
26. Yeah, right.
26.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
24.
Dave-
27.
I'm 24.
Dave's 24.
Yeah.
James, you're old.
Yeah, I'm the old guy around these
You're
parts.
the old
Well,
guy.
Dave, let me ask which female singer songwriters was your sister listening to that you got into?
She listened to like Tori Amos. She listened to
Oh.
like who else?
Liz
like
Fair,
Liz-
Ani DeFranco.
Liz Fair.
Oh, I like
Ani
Liz Fair.
DeFranco. She'd listen to Sarah McLachlan, of course.
So
Sure.
she just had a Lilith Fair CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
She was
Well, Alex-
She was a fairhead.
A Fairhead.
Alex, who did you like in the 90s? Female singer-songwriters.
Gosh, wow. Because, yeah, I feel like in the 90s I was, because I'm only 26.
Mhm.
I wasn't really that old in the 90s.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, I would say, like I really liked, I liked what Madonna was doing, in the 90s.
Sure. Now, are we talking like early 90s or later 90s when she became more of a like a dance pop
When
artist?
did
Not,
Ray of
not to be
Light?
confused with her other dance pop.
Right.
Singles.
Yeah, a different phase of dance pop. You know what? Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure for Christmas one year I got her iconic music album,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is I think that might be like 2000. So if you'll like bend the rules a little bit and go like,
Well, let's check in. I'm getting a production note to see if
Yeah.
we can bend the. We
Can
cannot bend the rules.
Really? Can't even
No.
do 2000.
Was
okay.
Ray of Light in the 90s or was that
I think
the
Ray of Light was
2000s?
in the 90s. Yeah.
James?
Or are you asking me to confirm?
Yeah,
whether-
can you please? Because as the oldest member of this
Yeah.
group,
Yeah.
so
Let's take it.
A couple of Zoomers like us.
yeah, as the oldest member by a lot.
Yeah. By it's almost a decade. I don't. It is. I see. I was incorrect. I was going to guess 2000s. 1998.
For Ray of Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought Ray of Light was 1998. But then that cowboy music video where like Don't Tell Me, I think that's 2000s. So
Okay.
Get
So
that
we
out
got
of there.
Madonna. Who else do you?
Oh,
like?
I remember that cowboy music video.
remember that cowboy
She
video?
had like a little step thing.
Yeah, the little step thing. Yeah. We can't talk about that because that's in the 2000s.
But I can pretty much when I said Ray of Light, I pretty much played back the whole song in my head. I
Yeah,
feel
me
like I
too,
know
yeah.
all the lyrics.
Yeah, of course.
Not
It's
gonna-
just
not
something
gonna
that we
sing them.
learned. I think we learned it in school.
Madonna class.
Speaking of school, wait, is Tracy Chapman a 90s singer-songwriter?
course, yeah.
Absolutely. Give me one reason to stay here, and I'll turn right back around.
Oh my God, is she here? Wow.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only
Tracy.
Miss Tracy Chapman.
Wow, I'd love that. Like I'm gonna claim ignorance on this one, and like when I first heard what's it called, Fast Car?
She's gonna find.
Yeah, I really thought that was a
I'm gonna
man.
take it to get it out of here.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's got a
Very good.
deeper voice, Miss
Yeah.
Chapman, is what I call her on this show.
You call her Ms. Chapman.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think there's a
Right.
lot of moments in music when we heard songs and thought that's a boy or that's a girl, right? Famously,
Right.
the Hanson brothers, they had very young men at the
They were
time.
Speaking of
90s female
women's-
singers.
Yeah,
Female
yeah.
singer-songwriters.
Yeah, but again, they don't count because they're a band
Yeah.
and male.
Got it. Okay. And no 2000s,
Oh,
no bands, no men.
here's one that I actually I had the CD. I had Jagged Little Pill.
Now, if we're
a
talking about the
classic.
female singer-songwriters, that is the diamond of the 90s,
Yeah.
right? When we're talking about Alanis Morissette, as she's coming off her attempt at being a dance pop artist in the late 80s into the early
That's
90s.
right. Yeah.
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 I don't know any of her
And her-
dance pop stuff though.
She had the songs "Feel Your Love" and "Too Hot." Those were
Too Hot.
Yeah.
And now, which one of those do you think, like, when was she dating Dave Coulier?
Dave Coulier, I think that was somewhere in, because we have to think, okay, when would they have met?
Right.
Probably when she was coming out of that success and at the height of his success in the Full House sitcom. So
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it had to have been pre-Jagged Little Pill, because as legend has it,
Yes.
some of the lyrics in the song "You Oughta Know"
are about. Although
Yeah.
I was reading about this the other day because I just watched the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which features Alanis Morissette. Yeah, apparently she has never really copped to who it actually is.
No, she hasn't. Never copped to
Great.
who she went down on in
In
a
a
theater.
theater.
And I don't know if I love that visual of Alanis Morissette servicing Dave Coulier
Dave
while
Coulier.
they're watching a movie.
Bunch
right?
of kids around.
Yeah, like what movie are they
watching
seeing?
Aladdin.
Yeah, they
Oh,
went to see
no.
Aladdin in theaters, and
Oh no.
and then she starts servicing him, and he's getting a little nervous, and he's like, "Cut it out."
He gets that like puppet.
Yeah. Was like it's like a beaver or something like
It's a
that.
beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're getting really into the 90s now.
We're
So
really
Dave,
into the
I
90s.
also owned the Jagged Little Pill album, and it was also on cassette because
Really?
I'm a little bit older.
You know, I bet that
You're
holds
quite a
up.
bit older,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say it right now. I think that I could listen to that album tomorrow and I would still enjoy it.
I'm going to
Oh.
tell you something. I listened to it a couple weeks ago, and it does hold up.
So did I. Yes.
Really?
Now,
I wonder
Alex,
if we
did
were listening
you
at
own
the
it as
same
well?
time. No, I actually I didn't own a lot of CDs. Didn't own any cassettes, because I'm so young.
You should have been a member of the BMG music.
Yeah,
I-
for only
yeah,
only
the-
pennies, you can get 12
pennies.
tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did that. I had I kind of went against the grain on this one though, because a CD that I did have was Boy Power, which goes against all the rules of this conversation.
It sounds like an incel empowerment movie.
Yeah.
I mean, basically,
I went to one of
yeah.
those rallies.
Yeah, that's why Dave is
You
not
went to a
allowed.
Boy Power
That is why
rally.
Dave is no longer and not allowed to attend the former Gamer Prince of Montreal's rally
Right,
this
the
weekend.
rallies.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All those incel rallies.
Well,
Yeah.
look, look, I'm all about perspective, right? So, Dave, better that than maybe a NAMBLA rally.
That's true.
Right. Yeah, I didn't have that CD. The
Yeah.
NAMBLA.
You don't want the NAMBLA soundtrack.
The NAMBLA soundtrack.
And for anyone who doesn't know, I would suggest you Google it, but don't.
Yeah,
Because
Google
I'm
it
not
like
going
at
to say
your
what it
public
stands-
library.
Yeah, go to a library if you're going to do it. So, Dave, we've started off hot here with Alanis Morissette, right? That, to me, I believe, would be the Mecca. Because I think Madonna, I
Yeah.
think the 80s. I think the 80s. when I
Sure.
think
sure.
Yeah.
I would say she
Me
was
too.
at her strongest of the 80s, but I do think she kept very relevant in the 90s.
I'd say 80s
Yeah,
into
she
the
did,
early
yeah.
90s, but I think for some of my age group, not counting
Your
yours,
generation.
I'm a little bit older, right? I think like that sweet spot in the mid into the late 90s, anywhere from 1994 to 1998, right? So you can't
Right.
you
Sure,
can't
yeah.
talk about these artists without Sheryl Crow.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
I never I never loved Sheryl Crow. I didn't find like her
Yeah.
music had that much like passion behind it, or like
Yeah,
Hold
did
on.
anyone really
Hold on,
love
you're
Sheryl
saying there's
Crow?
not a lot of passion behind the song Are You Strong Enough to Be My Man?
yeah, I am saying that.
Or what
That,
about
I think that's very. I would challenge you, Dave. I challenge you to listen to that song and not feel that she's speaking from a position of passion and sorrow.
Okay, I will.
and that
and-
one
Challenge accepted.
Okay.
Now
It's
I
a
feel
shame
like-
we can't play music on this show.
You know-
Because this
Yeah.
segment would be great with music.
You know what she
It
did?
really would
You know what turned me off of her is that "Soak Up the Sun" song.
I wanna soak up the sun.
Yeah. No, I would agree. Not
That's
a fan.
2000s though.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
believe it's the
No.
2000s, right?
But, like,
Alex,
who writes
you were
that?
you were about to check in, right? What were you
I
about
was
to say in regards to
because I'm
Sheryl
picturing
Crow?
that one where it starts out where it's like the guy, she's like, man, it's kind of her like sing talking where she's like,
Oh, I think you're probably talking about All I Want to Do Is Have Some Fun.
yes, like her, yeah, that's like the
That-
song. That's a good
fun-
song.
That is you know what it is? It's fun
It's a
because
fun song.
everyone who can't relate. I think I said it to Dave a couple days ago. I just want to have some fun.
Have
That's
some
really
fun.
all we want. All we want to do is have some fun.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind of like
that's-
the female version of like BTO, like
Taking care of business.
taking
or
care
you
of
ain't seen
it.
nothing
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
I mean, I agree with that, but that's not interesting to me. It's kind of boring.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Now what? Now what about Leaving Las Vegas? Another Sheryl Crow hit.
How's that
Oh,
go?
I don't. What is that one?
Leaving Las Vegas, lights so bright.
I don't know
Like
that
Jack
one.
on
I'm
us. You,
too young.
Dave. I challenge you to listen to Sheryl
Yeah,
Crow.
that's before my time, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're too young for
Yeah,
that.
you guys are probably too young. Now we've got some coming in from the chat here. Now we have to talk about this one,
Celine.
the one and only Miss Shania Twain.
Oh, okay. But then we have to talk about Celine Dion.
Okay,
Actor.
we
And
can talk about-
Selena.
Well, that's also in the chat.
yeah.
We also got Jewel in the chat.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
and J-Lo was like pretty big in the 90s, right?
she was big in the 90s.
She kind of started to peak in
She-
the 2000s, though.
Yeah,
Was it-
she was
yeah,
late. She was
actually,
late
she's one of-
90s, right? When people think J Lo, they think "Don't Be Fooled by the Rocks" that I got, but she had a couple crappy songs.
I think of the
in
Fly
90s.
Girls.
Now, oh yeah, is it part of In Living Color?
Yeah.
Think of the movie The Cell.
Now here's the thing, Dave. The Fly Girls don't count because that's not only not one person; it is a dance group.
That's true.
What do we think about
Shania Twain?
Shania Twain.
What an attractive woman. Like, wow.
You know, I
That's-
didn't realize how beautiful she was until
Jeez.
later on in life.
Yeah,
You
but,
were
like,
very young at the time,
That was
Dave.
quite
You were
we
very
were
young, yeah.
we were not born yet.
You were babies.
at her-
But then I watched
yeah.
that video of her in the desert with that like leopard
Yeah, that
outfit.
don't impress me much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
that
moly.
song is like one of the best. It's one of the best songs ever made.
Yeah.
Now, Alex, from the female perspective, how do you feel about man? I
I
feel,
feel
like, a woman.
Yeah, any song that's gonna start out with "Let's go, girls." Come on, come on.
Yeah, that I think would get people going at a bar. Like if
I would put on like cowboy boots. I don't even own
Yeah.
cowboy boots, but I'd be like pulling them on.
and
like,
this is the
"Let's
thing,
go."
I don't love that song, but
Coyote
I
uglying.
Yeah, I'd be Coyote Ugly.
Now
but-
if we're talking about Coyote Ugly, that would be Leanne Rhymes talking about how you can't fight the moonlight.
That's true.
That's the 2000s though. So
Is
get
that
out of
see? This is once we get into the
Pretty
music
sure.
or the movies, I'm out to lunch.
Yeah,
But what
Coyote
about
Ugly.
Jewel,
I think, was,
right?
Like, Jewel, yeah, of course.
She lived in a van.
Lived in a van
Down by the
she-
river.
I was waiting for Dave to interject with that. Thank you. Shows we're building chemistry. Now, her voice was a little bit off-putting, I thought.
He had like one song that I really liked.
Even
was-
after you're gone,
Oh, the one where it's like, I know you love me, and soon
we'll see.
Yeah,
Close
yeah,
it out,
yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
Remember me.
There,
No, you
bring it
were
home.
Meant for me,
not-
and
I like Dave's
was meant
version.
for
You remember me.
You remember-
I remember.
It took me a second to.
Yeah.
It took me a second.
we remember each other.
Now, I feel like for people in my age group, that was a classic, a slow dance song. The
Yeah.
people prior to my age group, they probably had Stairway to Heaven. Some of us had.
Come on,
you know, we
James.
had.
You used
we
to
had-
grind to that song.
Yeah, I was always ladies were backing that ass up on me to Jewel, as well as Chantal Kraviatsuk's cover of is that song from Armageddon, "Leaving on a Jet Plane."
Oh, sure, yeah. What? She did that was a cover?
Yeah, that was part of the Armageddon soundtrack.
Speaking of the Armageddon soundtrack, no, I went somewhere else. Natalie Imbruglia, Torn.
Yeah, former Australian soap opera star. What do you?
Really?
She's a one-hit wonder. She's a one-hit.
You know,
Oh, yeah,
she
but
didn't even
that's a
write
good
that song.
song.
That's a cover.
Yeah, that is
No
true.
way.
That is true.
I only found out that recently. I don't even
That's
know
a
who did
cover,
the original,
but,
but
like-
it's a cover. Yeah.
I feel bad for whoever did the original because
Now, this
Sorry.
is someone that rose back to fame. I guess it's probably 10 years ago now. What about a pop artist, Robin?
I never knew much of Robin until her
Yeah.
resurgence with that.
Yeah, see,
what's the
I
newer
remember-
song? I know we're not supposed to talk about.
I
it,
don't
but-
recall the new ones, but I remember like, "Do you know what it takes to love me?" That was her
That's-
big hit in the 90s.
Ooh, you know what was a good one? Crush by Jennifer Page.
Oh, she has to be Canadian.
It's
Oh,
just
absolutely, yeah. It's
a little crush.
Now, if we're talking about, let's go to Google and confirm whether Jennifer Page
it's Canadian.
is Canadian.
With a name like that, my
Yeah.
God.
What other songs did Shania Twain have? I feel like I'm blanking on.
She had, Man of no, I don't know.
Well, I can confirm right now that Jennifer Page is American.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And now look up some other Shania Twain songs.
Okay, well we can certainly.
She was
do
recently on stage with Harry Styles at Coachella.
That's right, and they sang a song that I can't remember right now, but it's not one of the ones we mentioned.
Nope. Actually, didn't watch the video with sound on, so I don't know what they did, but they looked good.
See, he was wearing a sarong of some kind or something.
Yeah, it was like sequin.
Sequin.
I want to quickly, before we get back to Shania Twain, talk about some of you brought up Jennifer Page Crush. What about the one-hit wonders of the 90s? I'd like to interject with Imani Coppola, Legend of a Cowgirl.
Oh, I don't know. What's that?
Pack my bags and mount my horse. I'm gonna ride on into the next town.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been written. That could have been sung by anybody.
That's like country music.
Yeah, it could have been Shania or
if we
Sheryl
talk about
Crow.
one-hit wonders, what about another Canadian artist, Holly McNarland, Numb?
Oh yeah.
Wait. Yeah, but wait, I know the name of that song.
She had a lip ring, right?
Like, what is that song?
She was a little alternative.
She was alt, yeah.
Was she the one who got with Rain Maida?
No, that was Chantal Kraviazuk.
Chantal Kraviazuk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about this? Kate Bush.
Kate Bush, yeah.
Kate Bush
she's more 80s, I think.
Is she?
Yeah.
Running up that hill. Right?
I
do all the impersonations of all the female singer-songwriters.
Yeah, it's good.
Can you do a Bjork?
Oh, nice.
You know what? I can sit here and say I don't know one Bjork song.
She does the one where it's like a lot of like being like.
Yeah, well, she also has a cover. I can't remember. It was in the 2000s, so I can't talk about it.
You can't talk about it.
When did she wore the Swan in the 90s though?
That
right?
was in the 90s.
Yeah, one of the I believe the Grammys.
Yeah.
Oscars.
Now again, one-hit wonders. What about Lisa Loeb?
Is Lisa Loeb a one-hit wonder, or I don't know?
Stay is her only song, I think.
I think she had a second song.
Can you sing the song that?
You say.
Oh sure.
Oh yeah, that was only one song.
I only hear what I want to.
That's Lisa Loeb.
I
always thought she was cool because she was a woman who wore glasses.
Actually, when you Google search Lisa Loeb, the first result is Lisa Loeb Stay, and the second one is Lisa Loeb Glasses.
Nice.
Well, she was like. I feel like a lot of people had crushes on her because it's like, oh, she's like she's girl quirky. Next door.
Yeah.
Now, again, this might be a deep cut for you youngsters. What about Sophie B. Hawkins? Damn, I wish I was your lover.
I don't literally at any age do not know what you're talking
Dave,
about.
Really?
That song?
Damn, I wish I was your lover.
I do such things to ease your pain. And then there's a really bizarre lyric. It as the chorus ends, she goes, "Tonight I'll be your mother."
You don't know this song, Alex?
I don't know this song.
I feel like it was.
But Dave, Alex is a little younger than you.
That's
I'm
true,
quite
but
a bit younger than
I feel like this song was written for you. Like it seems like it's like right up.
That feels pointed.
No, not the lyrical content.
To me, the interpretation that I take from that song is that like she's obsessive and wants so badly to be accepted by this person that she's fawning over.
I don't mean the content.
Exactly,
I mean
Dave.
the vibe. I mean the instrumentation and vibe in terms of like 90s songs and like fuck yeah.
Well, I will say this, Alex, at least Dave is saying that like I feel like that's your energy and not Meredith Brooks' bitch.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's a good song though.
Another one-hit wonder.
Yeah, definitely.
Written about my ex-girlfriend.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Easy. She might be watching right now.
Sorry.
Wait, I feel like we're skipping over so many. Like, I'm.
If we look, there's a lot coming in from the chat, but I can throw like here's a heavy hitter from the 90s about Lauryn Hill.
That's the one I was just gonna say.
For sure.
Connected synergy.
Yeah. I think she got into some tax trouble.
She did, yeah, because she was
not in the 90s. Not in the
Dave,
90s.
easy.
Not in the 90s.
Easy, Dave.
Please.
She was. I mean, can I talk about? I can't actually. I'm not going to say the Fugees. I can't talk about it, but
no, you can't talk about the Fugees because there are men in that group and they're a group.
Oh,
but if I were to talk about it, I would say that they were great.
Maybe
But I wouldn't.
everyone gets like one. Like I talked about Boy Power. Dave's gonna talk about the Fugees.
Well, I talked about Hanson.
And you talked about okay.
So,
then
we
we're
have
done.
now hit our limit. Now, again, if we want to talk about another queen of the 90s,
Yes.
what about Miss Mariah Carey?
I mean, please,
Come
butterfly.
on, James. What are we doing
I
here?
mean,
Now, Dave, there is recorded footage of you singing along to "All I Want for Christmas Is You" on my
Wow.
couch using your wife's foot as a microphone. There's footage of this.
I mean,
Classic.
I'm not embarrassed about it. It's a great song.
Now, what are our favorite Mariah Carey songs? Alex, go.
Oh, what's the one? Okay, the video, is it Heartbreaker? I think. No, and Jerry O'Connell's in the video.
Is that from the 2000s?
Jerry O'Connell.
Because
though.
Heartbreaker is "You Got the Best of Me."
Yeah, yeah.
I think because I think Jay-Z is part of that song. Let's
That's
go to
right.
Google.
No, that's gonna be like 99.
If it's gonna come in anywhere, it's gonna be 99.
I
Alex,
think
it comes in right at the limit, 1999.
Yes, see, it counts.
Dave, what about
love
you?
that song.
Mariah Carey, favorite song? Go.
I mean, it's got to be the Christmas one. But
Well, look, I didn't want to be
yeah.
obvious.
It's gotta be a
My
Christmas
choice.
yeah.
I'm gonna vouch
Simple
for
Plan.
Emotions.
Is that where she has that really high note?
Oh yeah, right at
Yeah.
the end. Yeah.
See, but all in my head, I'm just thinking of Destiny's Child version of Emotions, which is 2000. So
Yeah, Stricken. Now coming in from the chat,
Get
this is a duet. We've got Brandy and Monica. The Boy
Oh,
Is Mine.
The Boy-
A staple of any Friday night countdown.
Now, is that a group?
no. Yeah, does that count? Come on.
You know what? Sorry, Naive Adventures. You
Two
gone.
solo artists. Okay, but I got one. Tony Braxton.
Now
He wasn't-
Tony Braxton
He
was on
wasn't
the
man
list.
enough for me.
Yeah. Damn. Imagine. I now Dave, put yourself in that guy's shoes.
All right. So
Let's
what
say
am
you're dating Miss Braxton, and she says, "You're not man enough for me."
He says,
Now that's a
"You're
little
man
stiff.
enough
As
for
we
me."
like to say in the wrestling world, that's stiff. That's a stiff one.
I'd say you're
Yeah.
right.
But listen, sadly, like I was very, very young, incredibly young, when I heard about Tony Braxton. I also thought
You were in diapers. You're knee high to a grasshopper.
I was not. I was a glimmer in my father's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
you
thought
got him
that Tony
confused with
Braxton was
Tony
also a
Bennett.
man.
Yeah.
And Tony, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
she also has quite a deep voice.
Yeah.
You know.
When you want to talk about distinct voices, what about Macy Gray?
Oh yeah.
I would argue a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, I don't know any
You
song
know?
other than what's the name of the song again?
It's called "I Try." She
Yeah.
does have one pretty good hit on
Is
the
there a
Spider-Man
parenthetical after that?
soundtrack. What's that?
Is there a parenthetical after that?
I try. I don't think so. I
Okay.
think it's just "I Try." That's a good song, though.
It was a great
Is it?
song.
Yeah, I think so.
Dave, now hold on. Alex says good. You say great?
I think it's a
Wow,
great song.
No, but listen, I have to talk about her. She did a song
Please.
on the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man
Sure.
Tobey Maguire soundtrack that slaps. So.
But that movie came out in 2002.
I
The
know.
song
but it's
doesn't
like,
count.
Is
I'm
that
not
a
accepted.
Hero Can
Everybody
Save
go
Us?
listen to it. What's that?
Now I want to go through now. If there's any topics that get the chat going, it is music and food.
Food.
Very engaged right now. So we've got from our friend Naive Adventures, Whitney Houston,
Of course.
an artist of the 90s. We've also got some Canadian candidates here. Anne Murray and Rita McNeil. Anne Murray to me is more of a 70s artist, but she did,
Yes.
she was she was around in the 90s. Now,
Sure.
Alex, your roommate is in the chat right now. He's coming in. Howard George Vance. He's vouching for Mariah Carey Fantasy, but that
Oh,
features
sure.
old and rest in power, of course, Old Dirty Bastard. We call him Mr. Bastard on this
Mr.
show.
Bastard.
Now, does
Mr.
that count?
Bastard.
Even though there's a male
If it's a
sample. in
man,
this?
well, no, yeah, like there can be men on the track, like
If they're under a featuring label, then that counts.
yeah, I think that's okay. That it's not like they're in a group together.
Okay, fair enough.
You know. Also,
We missed a big one though, and I'm sort of.
Celine Dion.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
but again,
you.
I think Celine Dion. I think 80s. She did have one of the largest songs of the 90s with the Titanic song.
Which
I mean, listen.
I've been quoted
so
saying is the
funny.
greatest song of all time.
It's the
When I
greatest
was-
song of all
Time
time.
magazine.
No, when I was a kid, I said that.
Now this
You
is a
hear
great
that
one.
little like doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, just a single tear.
We've got
runs down
another
my
great
cheek.
one in the chat because, again, more notorious to me, anyways, for the 70s and 80s. Cher and Believe was a huge song in the 90s.
She had that big comeback, and I was that's when I first became aware of Cher. For
I think Cher invented autotune.
I think that there's something to be said that she really shone a light on autotune.
Maybe didn't invent it, but really, put it on the world stage.
Now, I'm more of a fan of Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves.
See, I'm too young for that.
Yeah,
Much
I don't
I
know
was
that.
born in the wagon of a traveling show.
Oh, I love
Mama
that
used to dance for
song.
the money they throw.
Man.
Papa would do whatever he could.
Keep
Which
going.
some youngsters might remember from The Simpsons. The
Right,
episode when
of
Homer
course.
eats the poisonous blowfish.
Right.
Oh,
of
that's
course,
right. Yeah.
Now, I think we can't talk about 90s singer-songwriters without tipping a cap to Miss Fiona Apple and her song Criminal.
Well, of course.
Which is, I would say, an erotic song. Is that an erotic song?
Wait, which one?
Criminal.
Oh, yeah. Look, speaking of Jennifer Lopez, anybody who's seen Hustlers? Sorry, very recent movie. It's not in the 90s, but she does a strip tease to that song. Very
She's great.
sexy.
You're saying, now who's great?
Fiona
Apple or J-Lo in the movie Hustler?
Oh no,
I mean, they're both. Look,
they're
really
both great.
great.
But I was saying Fiona Apple. I had a bit of
Yeah.
a crush on Fiona Apple when I was.
I mean,
when I was
what
younger.
what young boy didn't?
She dated disgraced comedian Louis C.K.
Oh, and Zach Galifianakis was in a video of hers.
Yeah, no, the tractor one was a Kanye one. Never mind.
Well, what about when she won that award and she said, this is all BS?
She was like the rebel girl.
Yeah.
Mainstream rebel girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about look, Miss Janet Jackson? Can't
Oh, I mean, yeah.
enough about her.
Again, she creeps in from the 80s, but I would say that, yeah,
Right.
there's I remember, I think the song of hers from the 90s that I remember mostly is We Go Deep and We Don't.
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
remember that was like, because the video, the main actor is very horny at a party. And then as he's about to smooch Janet Jackson, he wakes up and I think there's a pizza man at the door.
Oh, like okay, like a
Interesting.
porn setup.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment?
Yeah, I think Janet Jackson, I think there's a claim to be made.
Yeah, of course.
Can we take a moment for a little commemoration, in
this is a
memoriam
remembrance?
rather, section of
Oh,
the
God.
90s singers?
Oh no, who are we
sure.
doing? Oh my God, there's
Well,
so many.
Aaliyah, for one.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I was
Yep.
thinking of.
And Selena also,
Right.
Yes,
who was
Both
murdered
died.
by
Both died tragically.
I don't know if we have
Both
to get into the specific state.
the person who ran her fan club.
Ran her fan club,
Yeah.
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 Again, another J-Lo reference is J-Lo depicted Selena in,
J.Lo did a great
in the
job.
movie of the same name.
Yeah.
I
Yolanda
tried to watch
Salazar.
they did a Selena TV show, I think
Saldivar.
last year. Tried to watch it. No good.
Dave, you know
So-
a lot about this case.
You do know a lot about Selena.
Well, I also sort of look like the murderer.
Wait, yeah. What was her name?
Okay,
Like,
hold
Gloria?
on. This is an episode, Murderer Look-alike Night,
Oh, I would love it.
where we have to find the murderers that we look most alike.
Wow, James, there's a lot for you.
I think, unfortunately, yeah. I think that people would be, Charles Manson back when you had long
When
hair.
you had
and
long
a,
hair, yeah.
And a filthy beard, yeah.
I would also argue the butcher baker, the guy that would put women on like an island and then hunt them for prey. Look,
You also kind of look like the Menendez
again,
brothers.
Look, let's yeah.
he looks like both of them.
Yeah, I'm the perfect mix of both Menendez brothers.
The 90s.
Now, coming in from the chat, courtesy of Naive Adventure, she's got more information on this horrible crime. Quote, the person who ran her fan club was also her best friend.
Oh, wow. Sad. I hope
Saying
no one-
best friends can murder you?
Now,
Good thing I don't have
we
any.
get back on track now? Are there any other omissions that we may have forgotten about?
Okay,
I got one.
so
Sure.
you got one? Go for it.
I'll let you guess the person, but this lady was famous for tearing a picture of a pope, of the pope.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah,
Oh
Sinead
my
O'Connor.
God, we're missing
But
one.
again, I think nothing compares to you. I don't recall any of her other hits, and that was a Prince wrote that song.
She
She still sung it. She's a singer-songwriter. I guess she didn't. Not a songwriter, just a singer.
There you go.
I think we would be morally remiss to not acknowledge Miss Britney Spears.
This is true. Although, did she write her songs?
Well, but are we? Is that what we're doing, really? Or
Well, if we're going into the rabbit hole, then we have to talk about Christina Aguilera. And I don't. Does Mandy Moore and my favorite female pop song of all time, Candy. I think trumps all of the others.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song.
I'm craving for you. I'm missing you like Candy.
I don't know that
She's
song.
like 12 when she wrote that.
Yeah, she's very young.
I don't know that
A
one.
lot older than me, though. Yeah, Mandy Moore, but yeah, I feel like I know Mandy more for her acting, to be honest.
Yeah, she transcended.
Yeah. Britney Spears, yeah, a lot of love in my heart for Miss Britney Spears.
Sure.
You know.
Yep.
Glad she got rid of that whole conservatorship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty rough. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, free Britney.
Well, are we saying that we have touched on all of the top female singer-songwriters of the 90s?
I just feel like, yeah, we're missing, you know.
This person I wasn't into, but I guess Faith Evans was pretty big.
There's also Faith Hill.
Faith Hill, yeah.
Now or can we put Missy Elliott in here?
I think we can.
I think so.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott's great.
Hey, what about Jan Arden?
Now, Jan Arden, some more. What was her big hit?
I don't
The
even
Jan
know.
Arden
I don't
Show.
remember.
Yeah. Her big hit is her current sitcom that appears on the CTV network.
According to
which means that
Refinery
as comedians,
29,
we could and should just give up.
Or we should become
They're not even
female
going for
singer-songwriters.
actors. They're not even going for actors anymore. Let's
what
get
about Kylie
Jan Arden.
Minogue?
Oh, yeah.
She's more 80s though.
She's 80s and then 2000s, I think.
That's true. Yeah. Man, I love that song though.
We're getting from the chat insensitive. That I was gonna say unspoken. Yeah.
Ooh, Sade.
Smooth operator. Sensible, erotic listening for adults.
One time I was in Toronto and I was with my roommate
sexy.
and it was really sexy, and we walked by this park and there was like 15 people in front of like a bandstand.
Yeah.
And then a woman singing that song and she went, "Smooth operator, everybody."
Oh,
She's like, and then nobody joined in.
Oh.
So good.
I think that's the perfect song for singles in their 40s. Like,
Yeah.
I've got a lady coming over tonight. I better put the Sade on.
It was definitely on like those, you know, those like ads. I again was very, very young. I
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, those like compilation, like the tracks of
Yeah.
Sexy Time, you know.
Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, Western Bay.
Yeah, and it would always have like a snippet of like it would skip a song.
I'm calling it now. That song rules.
It's a good song.
Now, what about, here we go, Erykah Badu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like I don't know Erykah Badu very well, to be honest, sadly. Except there's that one where she gets like naked in the video, right?
Well, we're talking about songs right now.
Yeah, but what song
I think you're
though?
thinking of D'Angelo.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about D'Angelo.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
I would recommend from Erykah Badu, Penitentiary Philosophy. That song rocks.
It rocks?
Yeah, that song rules.
Okay.
Wait, does it rock or does it rule?
Both.
Oh.
It's both.
What about
Now, apparently, I don't know if this is coming in from the real Andrew McCall. I think this is in reference to Smooth Operator. He writes, they use that song in the Expo's 25th anniversary video. Which to me is, that might be one of the greatest moments in the history of this show where you'd be like, oh man, it's commemorating the 25th anniversary of the Expos. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago.
Oh, I thought they were talking about Smooth Operator.
Damn, that's great. Do we have any other? Now we're going overtime.
I got two more.
Please.
Ooh, go for it.
One is Mary J. Blige.
Of course.
Sure.
Oh, of course.
And then Gloria Estefan.
Oh, that's a great pick, Gloria Estefan.
What about I feel like we've really missed one of the heavy hitters here, Melissa Etheridge.
I thought we talked about Melissa Etheridge.
No, we talked about Meredith Brooks.
Oh yeah, different
Yeah,
people.
Melissa Etheridge is a heavy hitter.
She's a heavy hitter. Also, Ani DeFranco.
We said her name very briefly off the top, but yeah, Melissa
know a single
Etheridge
song.
for sure. What about KD Lang?
Katie Lang, yep.
Yeah,
Katie
and
Lang,
what
yeah.
little known fact, her initials stand for Kraft Dinner.
Stop. No, they don't.
Yeah, it's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
in a movie with Ewan McGregor when I was a kid.
Her middle name is Three Cheese.
Wow.
What about? Did we mention Whitney Houston? I don't remember.
We did, yeah.
We did.
Turner?
We briefly touched on Whitney, but again, I think of her more of the '80s, right? I Want to Dance with Somebody, things like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
When did she do "I Will Always Love You"? That's probably her biggest.
That was
song,
the early '90s.
That was 90s.
But that is a
Bodyguard.
cover of a Dolly Parton song.
That's true.
Oh, really?
I'm Every Woman. When did she do that one?
What about
That
Tina
was the
Turner
80s.
though?
Okay.
Was
Now,
Tina Turner like when
Tina Turner is the '70s into the '80s, but Tina Turner's present in the '90s. She's a figure. But I
Yeah.
feel like in the '90s, everything was about how great her legs looked.
Yeah.
It was about like Oprah would be
That's
like, and
true.
her legs.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, I feel like that was a big thing. 'Cause it was like, oh, she's an older woman.
Now I can't tell. Is this episode interesting to anyone? We're just
We're just
every
listing
sentence is, and how about her? Or what about her? And then
It's
periodically,
just us like looking up lists on the internet.
I didn't look at all. The only thing I looked up was
that's
is
what I've been
Jennifer
looking up.
Page Canadian.
Oh, I've been going through like a slideshow of like.
I'm going freehand here.
That's good.
Mhm.
I think it is interesting.
I think
All
it's
right.
interesting.
Well, look. I
Fun
mean,
to
it must be
reminisce.
because coming in from the chat, it is just how about this? How about this? How about this?
Yeah,
Look, I love any excuse to talk about music on this little program here.
and I'm learning a lot about the '90s because I wasn't really around.
All right.
for a
Who are we
very-
going to listen to tomorrow? Now that we've spoken
Tomorrow?
about
Now
all
this is a
We
now,
have to
Dave.
assign everyone.
Dave, I don't know if I've ever been more proud of a contribution you've made to the show because that was the perfect way to begin closing this
Mhm.
episode.
Mhm.
Also coming in from the chat, this is definitely a figure of the Festival de Jazz International de Montreal, Diana Kroll.
Oh, Miss Diana Krall, Mrs. Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
I think they're
Oh,
still
it's
together.
true, eh?
Yeah.
Who are we gonna listen to tomorrow? That's great, David. You posed a question. Who are you starting
Wow.
with?
You know, I'm going to listen to three people. I'm going to challenge myself with some more Alanis Morissette.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going to listen.
You're challenging yourself with the album that you claim
Yeah, that's the
holds
one you
up.
picked.
I haven't
Yeah,
listened
you
to it.
picked
I said I think it would hold up. I'm going to find
Fair.
out for sure tomorrow. I'm going to listen to some of my little crush, Fiona Apple.
Mm.
And then I might listen to...
What about what I challenge you
What
to?
did you challenge me to?
I
again?
challenge you to listen to Are You Strong Enough by Sheryl Crow.
All right, I'll listen to Sheryl Crow. I'll listen to that one
And you know
track.
what? I'll even say I want you to listen to All I Want to Do because I think it'll put you in a good
All I
mood.
want
All right, I'll listen to two Sheryl Crow tracks, and then I'll cap it off with some Liz Phair, Exile
Okay,
to
so
Guyville.
to recap here, if this was an order, we're looking at it like if you had called in an order at a pizza parlor, but it's a song parlor, it's like, okay, so I've got an entire Jagged Little Pill album.
One main chorus of Jagged Little Pill,
Yeah, and then you've got two Sheryl Crows.
two Sheryl Crow appetizers, a
One Liz
Fiona
Phair.
Apple dessert, and
Yeah.
then a Liz Phair aperitif.
Yeah, you've got a Fiona Apple crumble
Yeah,
for dessert.
exactly.
Now,
Pretty good.
Alex, who are you listening to?
Probably the Boy Power CD. But yeah, if I have to listen to some women,
Yeah.
gross.
On this show, we like women supporting women.
Okay, great. You know, I don't think I know any
important.
Ani DeFranco. Is that how you say her
Okay.
name?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna check that out. You know,
Mhm.
She's challenging. She's a challenging listen.
I'm picturing a lot of. I'm picturing like spoken word is kind of the vibe I'm getting.
You got to listen
Yeah,
to the
I'm-
song that was written for you.
Oh, that's right. What was it again?
What was it?
Something about it wasn't bitch.
It was "Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover" by
Yeah.
Sophie
Damn, I
B.
Wish-
Hawkins.
Okay, that
Where-
one-
and remember the line, "Tonight I'll be your mother.
Yeah, I'll check that. I'll check
till
that
the
out too.
daylight dawn. Make sure
Yeah.
you are smiling and warm."
Well, now I don't even need to listen to it.
Yeah, I do. I do all the
Heard it.
hits. This is my compilation CD.
Yeah.
There's a CD at midnight they sell on TV at midnight. James sings the hits.
Yeah. Give me one reason to stay here.
You put those microphones that you like twirl around.
And for only $23.99, you can hear
Yeah.
James sing all of the hits.
Yeah, and then I do a cover of Mariah Carey's Christmas album.
Oh, a whole album.
Yeah, I do that one. I think that's who I might pick. I might do a bit of a dive on Mariah Carey in the 90s.
That's a nice one. I think.
Good music to clean your apartment to.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking like, because I'll listen while I'm working. So I'm sort of picturing. Maybe I'll do a little Mary J. Blige, get kind of like in the zone. I don't know.
All right. Well, I feel like we've got something here for a future episode where we talk about the male singer-songwriters from the 90s.
Ooh.
All right. I guess we won't be doing that episode. Dave and Alex, thanks so much for being here and have yourself an okay night, okay?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
That is
Bye,
Dave
guys.
Kaufman, Alex Brown. We also had the former Gaming Prince of Montreal. Remember, he's got a rally this upcoming weekend. Takes place in Pointe Claire. I can't remember the URL. Just go back, do a little rewind. You're going to find out all the information online. Until then, folks, that's our show for the week. We enter the week and we leave the week. That's why we're celebrating the end of April tonight. Tonight's episode is, hey, April, ya gone. Because the next time we come to you will be May. The month of May. In a perfect world, we're back here next Monday. There might be a scheduling conflict that maybe changes that up, but we will be here nevertheless. Once again, stay connected to our very crappy Instagram account at Home with James Show for all information and so much more. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for being engaged in the chat with all of your singer-songwriter female artists from the 90s. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and be well.